I'm Dr. Shifali Jain, Assistant Professor, Tirthankar Mavi University. Student, in the previous video, we also discussed about the quantity theory of money, transaction approach, and cash balance approach. And in this video, we discuss about the superiority of Cambridge cash balance approach over transaction approach. But first of all, we also briefly discuss the quantity theory of money, Fisher approach, and Cambridge approach. According to the quantity theory of money, the average price of transaction in an economy is proportional to the nominal quantity of money in circulation. The theory states that as the quantity of money prices level rises, the value of money decreases. There are two versions of the quantity theory of money, the transaction approach and the cash balance approach. The transaction approach, which is given by Fishers. Fishers, in his book Purchasing Power of Money, published in 1911, Professor Irving Fisher puts forward the transaction approach of quantity theory of money. According to him, the quantity theory is correct in the sense that the level of prices varies directly with the quantity of money in circulation, provided the velocity of circulation of that money and volume of trade is not changing. According to Fisher, money is demanded as transaction motive. The value of money, like the value of any other items, is determined by the supply and demand for money. As a result, the value of money or price level is decided when the demand for money is equal to the supply. According this approach, the demand for money is only created to pay for the existing supply of transaction. When the supply of money increases, people come to possess more money than that is required to pay for current transaction. They make an attempt to spend this increased quantity of money. Hence, demand for goods rises. But due to full employment and a fixed supply of transactions, there is no increase in the proportion production of goods, but rather a price rise in prices. When price rises, the value of transaction rises as well as which ultimately leads to an increase in the demand for money. This process continues until the demand for money equals the supply of money. What Fisher equation are criticized with. So as an alternative of to Fisher quantity theory of money, Cambridge economists Marshall, Pigou, Robertson, and Keynes formulated the cash balance approach, like value theory. They regarded the determinations of value of money in terms of supply and demand. Robertson wrote in this connection, money is only one of the many economic things it values, therefore, is a primarily determined by exactly the same two factors as determine the value of any other things, namely the conditions of demand for it and the quantity of its availability. Cash balance approach considered a demand for money not a medium of exchange, but as a store of value. Robertson expressed this distinctions as a money on the wings and the money sitting. It is money sitting that reflect the demand for money in the Cambridge equations. So Cambridge equation shows that given the supply of money at a money of at a point of time. The value of money is determined by the demand for cash balance. Uh, when the demand for money increases, people will reduce their expenditure on goods and services in order to have large cash holding reduced. Demand for goods and services will bring down the price level and raise the value of money. On the contrary, see, fall in the demand for money will raise the price level and lower the value of money. So, it is the Cambridge equations. Now, Cambridge equation considered superior than the Fisher transition approach. It is theoretic of Cambridge equations theory in many points. First of all, humanistic approach. Cambridge version, it emphasizes K or cash balance and consider human motives as an important factor affecting the price level. Fisher version, it does not explain how changes in the volume of money bring about. Mode of thinking, Cambridge version, it is concerned with the level of income, while Fisher version, it is concerned with the total number of transactions. If you see in the realistic approach, Cambridge version emphasizes the psychological factor or subjective valuations as chief determinant of demand for money. And Fisher version, it emphasizes on the institutional, objective, and technological factors only. And convenient of equations, Cambridge equation P is equal to KT upon M, while cash transaction approach P is equal to MV upon T. So Cambridge cash balance approach of quantity theory of money is superior to Fisher transaction approach in many respects. They are discussed as under. First of all, basis of liquidity preference theory of interest. The cash balance approach emphasizes the importance of holding cash balance than the supply of money, which is given at a point of time. It thus led Keynes to propound his theory of liquidity preference of and of the rate of interest and to the integrations of monetary theory of value and output. So it means next is complete theory. Complete theory, the cash balance version of quantity theory is superior to the transaction version because the former determines the value of money in terms the demand and supply of money. Thus, it is complete theory. But in the transaction approach, the determine the value of money is artificially divorced from the theory of value. Next step, discard the concept of velocity of circulation. The cash balance approach is superior to the transaction approach because it discards the concept of the velocity of circulation of money, which obscures the motives and decision of people behind it. Next step, related to the short period. Again, the cash balance version is more realistic than the transaction version of the quantity theory because it is related to the short period, while the latter is related to the long period, as pointed out by Keynes. In the long run, we may all be dead. So, the study of the relationship between quantity of money and price level during the long run is unrealistic. Next is simple equation. In the cash balance equations, transaction relative to final goods only are included, where P refers to the level of final goods. On the other hand, in the transaction equations, P includes all types of transactions. This creates difficulties in determining the true price level. Thus, the former equations are simpler and realistic than the latter. Next, a new formulation in monetary theory. The Cambridge equation regards the cash balance held by the people as a function of the level of income. The introduction of income, R or P or P, in this equation as against V, the velocity of circulation of money in the transaction equation has made the cash balance equation realistic and led to new formulations in monetary theory. It points out that changes in the level of money income can come about through changes in the price level, through changes in real output, or through both or at once. Next step explains trade cycle. Hansen regard K in the Cambridge equation superior to Fisher's equations for understanding cyclical fluctuation. According to him, drastic and sudden shift in the desire to hold money, reflected in the change in K, may produce large and quickly moving changes in the level of income and prices. In the Cambridge analysis, a shift in K may start an upward or downward movement. For instance, when K, the fraction of total income, real income that people wish to hold in cash balances, increases because of low business expectation. The price level falls and vice versa. Next day, study of subjective factors as a discussion above. V is a Fisher's equation is mechanistic, while K in the Cambridge equation is realistic. The subjective factors behind variations in K have led to the study of such factors as expectation, uncertainty, motives for liquidity, and the rate of interest in modern monetary theory. In this sense, it can be justifiably said that the Cambridge equation moves us on from to tautology represented by the equations of exchange to a study of economic behavior, applicable under all circumstances. Fisher's transactions approach hold true only under full employment, but the cash balance approach holds under all circumstances, whether there is full employment or less than full employment. And based on micro factors, the Cambridge version is superior to the Fisherian version because it is based on micro factors like individual decision and behaviors. On the other hand, Fisherian version is based on macro factors like T, total velocity of circulation, etc., So, in the simple words, we can say the Fisher approach gives the emphasis the stress of supply of money, while Cambridge approach lays more emphasis on the demand for money, and Fisher equation emphasizes the medium of exchange function of money, while Cambridge approach stresses the store of value function of money, and Fisher approach regard money as a flow concept, while Cambridge approach regard money as a stock concept, and Fisher approach gives more important V. V means velocity of money, and Cambridge approach gives more importance on K. K means store value, and Fisher approach more emphasis general price level, while Cambridge approach P in the Cambridge approach P refers to price of consumer goods, and in the Fisher approach, any change in M produce proportional change in P, while in the Cambridge approach, P may change by more or less than M, and Fisher approach it has gives rise to an inventory theory of money, and Cambridge approach has been developed into portfolio or capital theoretical approach. So Cambridge approach is considered superior than the Fisher approach because it provides a realistic analysis while emphasizing K. K, the motive of human indeterminations of P. And Cambridge approach consider both demand and money of supply as real determinant of value of money. And with it, this is a broader and comprehensive approach. This is a broader and comprehensive approach as it takes into account income level as well as changes in it as an importance determinant of price level. This approach is more useful in explaining the value of money as it is easier to know the amount of cash balance than to know the amount of expenditures. P may change even without a change in M. K is more significant in explaining the trade cycle than V in the Fisher equations. But some conclusion, Cambridge approach and Fisher approach are also similar. Same conclusion about M and P. The basic conclusion in both the approach is the same that the value of money or the price level is a function of the quantity of money. And similar equations, the two approaches use almost similar equation as Fisher, MV is equal to PT, P is equal to MV upon T. V refers to the rate of spending. Here, Robertson equation M is equal to KRT, P is equal to M upon KT. K refers is not to spending. Same phenomena of money MV plus M dash B dash of Fisher equations and M of Robertson and Pico equation and N of Keynes equations are refers to the same thing, the total supply of money. And V and K, two sides of same phenomena. Fisher approach emphasizes money as a stock, while Cambridge approach stresses money as flow. We see many topics in the many aspects where the where the Cambridge approach is considered superior than the Fisher approach. So I hope you well to understood it. Now, thank you very